Here, how's it going? Back, another live unboxing. Let's get this started here. Always a setup that takes so much time. What's going on, Joshua? Welcome, man. All right, so I have a couple boxes that came in this week. So I had this one came in. So this big one been sitting here for a while, and these. So I really don't know what they are. I have a pretty good idea what this is. I think this is an Iron Man Mark IV Gantry. I don't remember what this one is. I think this is a Hulk Gladiator down here. So if you have a preference on one of those. Also, somebody asked for the bones last week. I've got the bones here. Got the Mark 47 here, which is a good one I want to open up. Rocket and Groot. So, shades. You see one of them? And that's the Mark 6 Gantry down there. So if you see something specifically you want me to grab, otherwise I'm just going to grab one of these boxes and crack them open. You have anything? Vigo or Hulkbuster? Sure. I can do that. I love my Igor. He's I haven't killed. Yeah, that'll work good. So what I found interesting on this Igor was that all of the bags were just exactly like the standard Hot Toys Iron Man figures for the time that this came out 3 years ago, only larger. I mean, so like a standard Hot Toys battery compartment is not much bigger than this little stack of fake currency here. So it's about this big right there. And the Igor one is shaped exactly this dimension, only scaled up. So instead of it being the size of a Hot Toys traditional figure, it's like it's bigger. The actual battery compartment is bigger, which led me to believe that when they built this at Hot Toys, when they were 3D designing it, and I imagine that's how they do it, is 3D design of these figures. They just took their basic template of a Mark IV or Mark 7 or whatever it was they had currently using as their template, and then just redesigned him in the Igor shape. And then they said, well, instead of him being 12 inches tall, we need to make him 16 inches tall, so just stretch it. Which then, of course, stretched all of the battery components as well, because it's a standard Hot Toy Iron Man figure battery that goes in it, only the compartment is huge. I mean, it's like almost that big, and the battery just kind of floats around in there. So that's my only real thought on how they built that, because it's just like I don't know, they didn't customize him as that. Otherwise, those, in my opinion, those battery compartments would be the same size as they are for all of the other Hot Toy figures, only in a bigger figure. So that's a little weird, and the batteries slop around a little bit, but I like him because he's big. He's big. Let me grab a Mark 45. Right, so Mark 45 is a pretty serious figure here in himself. Let's get him to his normal size here, get his hips down, so you can see the difference in him. and Igor. I like my Mark 45. Every incarnation or advanced or next figure up just gets better and better. And this Mark 45 is really a really good figure, and I like him. So here's a size comparison of the two. And you can really see that there's no joke. This was a big, big figure. When Igor came out, he's just immense. I have an actual real job, Josh. I am a systems administrator for a company, and which means I handle uh, all of their computers, all their network, anything that has to do with from keyboard and mouse all the way up to connecting to the internet, to running the programs, to doing the database, to anything at all that has to do with the technology end of this company. And I work there 7 days a week. So I'm on call more or less at any time. The servers are running all the time, and I am the go-to guy. I'm the one that does that. So I actually have a real job that I went to school for, and I encourage you to further your education to the best of your ability and get a job that you enjoy so that you can also still relax enough to do stuff like this. So that's why I'm unable to necessarily give my full attention to this hobby and to the YouTube channel. I would love to be able to do nothing but make YouTube videos all day long. God, that'd be the greatest thing in the world. YouTube videos are a lot of work. I spend hours and hours doing a full-on professional video unboxing where I spend complete and quality time on a video and then go through the editing of it, maybe 8, 10 hours easily. And to do all that work and to submit it up to YouTube, and then YouTube finds some stupid reason to tell me that I can't get $3 or whatever for all of my work because for whatever reason somebody found the video to their unliking and they demonetize it, and I spend 10 hours making it and they give me zero money for it. It's really disheartening. And so I'm doing it because of the passion and the hobby. I really like doing it. It's fun. I enjoy showing my toys and my hobby. But YouTube sure does a good job of sucking the life clean out of you when that happens. So that's kind of how I've went backwards into just doing these currently, because it doesn't require the 8 to 10 hours of post-production and pre-production and editing and uploading. I could just do it and enjoy it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. But that's how I afford these toys. Nobody gives me these toys for free. I'm not sponsored by anybody to receive free $300 Hot Toys or 400 or 500 or $1,000 Hot Toys. I spend my real money on these, and it is my hobby, and I share it with you guys because they are neat. They are. This literally is just like having your own wax museum. When I was growing up, there was a wax museum in town, and I really enjoyed going there because it was like seeing the actors or actresses in real life, and or historical figures, the presidents and whatnot. It really was cool, and we have that now. I mean, the quality of J.C. Hong's team in regards to the creation of these head sculpts is unmatched. This what was one that I really liked recently? The Tom Holland Spider-Man. Dead on. I mean, I've never met Tom Holland in my life, but looking at the figure, it looks like Tom Holland. I believe that's what Tom Holland looks like. So, and the reason I've never done a giveaway again, I don't know what to give away. I don't really collect the 12-inch figures, or I mean the 6-inch figure to 1/12 scale. So I don't have a Marvel Legends or a Marvel Select, which is just a $10 to $30 figure that giving away is something that I could do. And to give away a $300 or $400 figure, that's real money right there. You know what I mean? The $30 or $40 figure, yeah, that's real money too. but that's not going to hurt me as much as giving away a $300 or $400 figure. This would literally come out of my own pocket. You know what I mean? And I truthfully have to say that I wouldn't make that money back from YouTube for months, months and months and months. It would literally be an out that wouldn't have any real financial benefit to me at this point. And I'm not trying to be greedy or mean or whatever, but that's the God's honest truth. It's the same reason why, I don't know, a year or so, YouTube starts saying, oh, you need to tell your viewers to subscribe to you on Patreon. You need to tell your viewers to give you money through Patreon. And I hate doing that. I say it in every single video. I've never yet had a Patreon subscriber because I really am not, like I said, I'm not trying to ask you guys for money. I'm buying these, and I'm buying these no matter whether I had a YouTube channel or not. I would buy these figures. And putting up a 10-hour video and getting $3 for it. Come on, that's what, 30 cents an hour? Trust me, I make a lot more money than 30 cents an hour making in my real life career. And if you think making a YouTube video for 30 cents an hour is anything, is nothing. So I'm trying not to make this into a money talk, but that's why I also don't give away Hot Toys at this point, because I can't afford to give away a $300 or $400 figure. I really can't. I've thought about that many times. If I could give away something, I've got a couple of figures that I've lost love for, and it probably would not hurt me to do that, and it's a struggle. It is something that I think about, but I don't know if I ever could. So that's how that goes. Now back to this Igor. So Igor, it's been a long time since I've actually played with him, but I remember he has this little grippy, like, he's supposed to be like the heavy construction piece was his design, or that's what he was called. I think he might have been possibly what they were considering doing for the Hulkbuster. Early concept design of him showed him in red and gold, and I've actually seen a customizer. I think it was Kwok, KWOK, I forget his first name, in Hong Kong, that had painted a red and gold one, and it looks really good. And I'm wondering if maybe they were at one point considering making Igor the Hulkbuster, if that makes any sense, because obviously these are following the comics to some degree. And Hulkbuster, Thorbuster, all these have been suits that Tony has had throughout the years in the comics. And I'm curious if that was originally their intention of Igor, if he was supposed to be a Hulkbuster. And that's just may just be me talking without any authority, but it was always my thought if that was what the case was, because I don't know if Spider-Man was who I read in the comics, and when I discovered Hot Toys, Iron Man is what they were cranking out. Actually, when I discovered them, they were cranking out the Tron light cycle, and what a cool figure that was. And I didn't buy that, but I started collecting these Iron Man figures because I don't know, they're just doggone cool. I mean, that's what I can say about that. So I don't have that much knowledge on things in regards to that, except for what I've learned through the collecting of them. So I didn't know that much about the Iron Man storyline in the comics, because Spider-Man was what I read when I was growing up. I was a huge Spider-Man fan, and a lot of times they'd have crossover in the comics where in this particular month he'll be doing something with Deadpool, or this particular month he'd be doing something with Punisher, or this particular month he'd be doing something with Iron Man, or the Fantastic Four. Spider-Man was always a reserve Avenger, and so that's would be my exposure to the other heroes or villains in the comic line. So I didn't know that much about Iron Man. I knew who he was, I knew his story, but I didn't know everything. So I don't know if he ever had a heavy construction suit. I imagine he did because he had a suit for everything. And maybe you guys could tell me better if Igor was a plan from that, from the actual comics, or if this was supposed to be a Hulkbuster. So he's totally articulated just like a regular Hot Toy. He has back here these movable spines, because in the movie that was really a neat thing when they showed him hunkering down. You know, his spine did this thing here where they opened up, and then he did like a crunch, you know, and really solidified himself down. And so they can be opened up and they can be closed, which is a neat little thing. He has articulated chest here, and it goes side to side. Okay. I went to pull him up. I ended up taking his arm off. And so he can be stretched up to that and then collapsed down. If I remember correctly, he can be stretched up and collapsed down. It's been a while since I've played with him. I can't get him to stretch up and collapse down some. Maybe he didn't. I thought he did. It's completely possible that he didn't. Let's get his little arm back on. What a joke. Give you a close-up of his arm. This doesn't move. Would have been neat if that moved, but that doesn't move. Looks like it should, but it doesn't. Show you that. And the battery on this, I think, is under here. I don't remember where the battery is, but every one of these light up. It's got a neat little elbow here, and it's articulated. There's a little fist here, articulated fist. And he's blue, and I like the blue figures. Blue's one of my favorite colors. And I normally will pose the figures with their articulated hands. Yeah, Igor's a blast. How does it feel to own a Hot Toy? And all right, Josh, thanks, man. So I'll talk a few more seconds about Igor here, and then we'll move on. He's got a little head here that pops in and out like a little turtle, and it articulates differently than the normal heads do. Kind of looks like a turtle. Goes up and down. And these pieces back here go up and down too, just like in the movie. So you can pose them down or up. So there's Igor. Let's move on to an unboxing. And I'm almost positive I know what this is. And I want to see this. So I'm going to crack this open. What I think this is a Mark IV Gantry. I may be wrong. And it is. Let me get my original gantry. Give you an idea of what we're talking about here. So this guy is big, and I have a feeling it's the same mold. But definitely a different figure. Now, in all truthfulness, the gantry would have been used for the first 5. No. Would have been used for Iron Man Marks 2 and 3 and 4 and 6. And this would have been the one that he had at his house in Malibu, I think that's where he lived. And that he had at the Stark Expo, which was in New York. Totally threw my camera on the ground. Sorry about that, guys. Just pick back up here. Total technical difficulty. We're back. Sorry about that. So this would have been the game that he brought all Mark 4, the Iron Man 2. He would have used this for the Mark 6, which he had real quickly. Then we go to the, we had the round gantry that he created. So this is a different packaging than the original Mark IV comes in. It's the original Mark IV gantry package was skinny and wide, and this is square, very much like all the other die-cast packaging. In the original Mark IV unboxing of that, you could see that in the historical documents. You had the backdrop for the Stark Expo. So now that I have 2 gantries, I can essentially display one in Stark Expo mode and one in house mode. And the differences between those are that the gantry at the Stark Expo, the floor is one. The original one, all you have to do is flip over these tiles and you will have, so the tiles are magnetized. And on the bottom is the white. So if I want to display this as the Mark IV for the Stark Expo, all I would have to do is just turn them over. And now I would have the Mark IV for Stark Expo, and I could use the backdrop from the original packaging to do that. So I will probably do, not service point, but anyone in here, if you wanted to put a Mark 45 in here, you could. It would on from the Mark 7 on, because Mark 7 uses the bracelets, and he showed us in Iron Man 3 that all the suits he's able to pop in and out through code. So they got destroyed in Iron Man 3. Anyhow, blew up. Play any suit in here you wanted to, but you accurately display the 2, the 3, the 4, or the 6. Any one of those 4 in here, and you would be true to the. Yeah. So I'm not going to really open up 4 right yet. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to look at him yet. I open up my knee. I'm really impressed. I had the Mark 6, really impressed, and it's the same figure. So the paints right off the bat look a little darker, more of a more construction-y. The same colors that I see huge construction vehicles. I can say that looking at this right off the bat. This is my question. Real similarity to the other. This base. Yeah. No, that's the same mold. It appears to have been changed slightly. These little here, Feggies or something. I forget what is these. This might be molding. And let's see if this comes off. So this is usable for the white ones. Because these little guys here in the back are always falling off. There's this little bitty piece right back here. And I appear to be missing on this one. There's this little bitty piece right there. One that always falls off. It literally just falls off all the time. And it's not enough to keep it on there. And it appears they didn't even give me one. hook you right up, right? And these are definitely glued in. No doubt about that. These are definitely glued in. They don't come out. And the striping on is a little different too. So here's that piece on the original. Get this piece to stay up here. Joints would benefit from being tightened down, and there's see here that's a little different there. The numbers are smaller on this one. These numbers on them, and that's a smaller scale. But the striping looks pretty close to the same scale there, just different than it was there. So this is as the other, except it doesn't turn white. And they both have lights. I know that for a fact. So there's your differences slash similarities. With the other difference being the obvious color difference. Now, a lot of people will state that this isn't accurate to the real gantry in the movie. And it's really not. It's doggone close, but it's not totally 100% dead on accurate. Piece, it just looks a little dirty or dusty, where this actually looks used. You have kind of a darkish gray here, and here you have a gray with a silver highlight on it. And these wires have a silver tint to them, and these wires are definitely black. But anyhow, there are people who will say that this piece isn't true to the movies, and it's a good representation of the movie gantry. And you can, I have seen people who have customized these pieces to make it more so like the movie. I've also seen a guy that had painted them. So the articulations on this are many. You can move this up and down like this, and you notice the pistons actually slide in and out when you do that. Okay. You can articulate this piece here, so you put it all the way down to the ground. Here, and folds forward here this way, like such, and like such. These don't move. Position this into a lot of poses. I've seen so in its stretched out huge form, it's a big presence in your display. So it doesn't take up such an area. Also, these pieces here aren't connected to the main base, So if you want to just these arms without the main base, you're able to do that too, and you can really tighten up your tree for that manner as well. It's a piece that is almost, hey Jason, how you doing, man? Welcome to the channel. It's a piece that's almost an Iron Man essential because it's doggone cool, and I don't know, it's doggone cool. What can I say? All these little pieces on, and really I'm just going to talk about this one's already out because this is different. I don't need to take these out to show you this. It's the same piece. Because, you know, the limitedness of the original piece has now been just kind of shot straight to hell. So it's now no longer a edition because they re-released it as a new edition. But it is different, the original. That is a total. There is the two differences. But like I was saying, this just rests on here. Just like that. And I just shove his arm up inside of there. So this is where this plugs into, like this. So if you wanted to just do this, you're completely capable of doing that without the entire base. So you can use this as entry without needing all of the other pieces to show him going in and out of his suit, because he required the gantry to get in and out of his suits. In Iron Man 2, there was a scene that was deleted where he put Iron Man 6 to confirm. So that's not canon. That didn't happen. He didn't have the pop in out of it. So the Mark 6 did not have that. It still required the gantry to get in and out of it. So this is a requirement, and we know that from Avengers. So this is a requirement for those. So to expound on your collection for those suits, the gantry is almost any cent, and this pivots here. So you can get some character to this in the pretty well balanced. You can get it around pretty well, and like I said, you can shorten it up. You can pretty much take up as much space as you want, or as little space as you want for your gantry. Just like the dummy and you can move them around quite a bit. So same thing with these front and back pieces. They go in, on and off. So we have the little chest piece. Right here. This does not go up and down, but this moves here, and you have a couple of arms here that do different things. So you can position to be able to attach his chest piece to him. There. So there's an articulation, and here's an articulation, and here's an articulation, and here, and here, and here, and here. So there's a lot of articulations in this. So we have that, and we have his little leg guys. Same thing. Right there. All the little articulations that you can expect are on this. Straight up. that way. You can really get these around. And these are for his shins. And then he has similar ones in the back for his ankles. Here. There. And just like the front, you have a back piece that works very much like the front piece. And then you have this head piece here. Now, the top of the head piece is that helmet falls out of there all of the time. And I've seen a couple of the guys that have customized that helmet piece so that the helmet stays in there better. But this helmet always falls out. There's really nothing I've been able to do without totally customizing it like some of the other collectors have done to keep it from falling out. So I'll show you this piece. And again, just like the sides, it's articulated here, 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 and here. You've got this piece, which comes out like such. There, all these little arms. And what's neat is the pistons work. That's what kind of upset me on that Mark 35. Why didn't they have pistons that worked? They did it on all of these. Why didn't they do it on the Mark 35? So that's why I did my Mark 35. So all of these little guys move around. So that guy moves, and that guy moves, and that guy, and this. So that helmet in there. So I kind of just place it in there and then just start moving these guys till it kind of holds it. And it never really stays like I want it to. Glue it in there. Although I could put some Elmer's glue, because Elmer's glue is a good temporary glue. School glue, regular white glue is a good temporary glue because you can remove it easily without really damaging anything. But I've never really wanted to glue it in. But it doesn't really stay. It's just resting in there. It's not holding it. And I wish there was a way that they created. I mean, there's magnets in this. Why didn't they just put some magnets here? Suck it up. That would have held it perfectly. And they didn't do that. I suppose, though, that I could always do that. Should I really feel that inclined to keep this from that. So let's put him back in here and see if we can get this little helmet in here again. So if you want the gantry, it was available. I don't know if you can still buy them now, but it was definitely a re-release. And it's the same gantry except for where I showed you the differences in the plating. And I think this base is just a little bit recast. But they're both light up. So the only thing you're losing is the option to turn it into the Mark 6 Iron Man 2 Expo gantry. And you don't get the backdrop from the gantry or the Expo either, which was included in the original gantry, which now that I have two, I will probably do that. So that's that. You know what? I'm going to open up this King Arts Mark 6 gantry from Marvel Avengers. I've been wanting to do that. And the reason I bought that is because two reasons. One, Hot Toys didn't make a Mark 6 gantry for some insane reason. And I don't know why. It was insane for them not to do that. I'll be right back. They then tried to appease us by slapping this little bitty gantry in as a figure base stand for the Diecast Mark VI, which is a complete insult as far as I'm concerned. It's like, really? That's your attempt at things? You're just gonna slap this in there and call it done? And I really didn't appreciate that either. But as I was looking at this Mark VI gantry by King Arts, which is a 1/9 scale, I was like, this looks like this could work. So I bought it, and I've not opened it yet. So I'm going to do that right now. The Mark VI diecast gantry that came with Mark VI diecast, this little figure stand, is truthfully about the size of a 1/12 scale gantry. So if you collect 1/12 scale figures, the 6-inch figures, a gantry would be great for that. And I'll show you that. That's what comes with the Hot Toys Iron Man Mark VI diecast. And that is I believe it's an old Toy Biz Spider-Man from back in the day. That's about the same size. So if you are a 6-inch figure collector, this Hot Toys gantry is perfect for that. And there's you a 1/12 scale gantry. That's my opinion on that. So let's get this bad boy out of the box here. King Arts 1/9 Scene Series Mark VI Moving Gantry. And even though it says it's 1/9 scale, I have a feeling this is going to be just fine for a 1/6 scale Hot Toy. And I am totally running out of time, it looks like. Yeah, Avengers Gantry. That's a better way to explain it. Because, you know, as I was just explaining, the Mark 6 and the Mark 4 both use the same gantry. Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue is also a glue like school glue, kind of a temporary glue, a white glue that could easily be washed off. Is that what you're saying? I've seen Gorilla Glue, but I don't know if that's the same as the white glues. Put that back in there. Nothing there. Some arms. Pretty simple to this. Not a lot of pieces. Big huge box. Not cool. So this lights up. These look just like the little hands, the fingers. Rotates, bends. Stretch it all the way out. Collapse it in. You see this just pops on and off. Different ones here. So that's a hand. This one is a type of a screwdriver. Looks like a big Phillips head screwdriver. Two hands. We have two hands with 4 fingers, 1 screwdriver, and 1 claw. So that's the other hand. And this one is a 4-finger claw. That's what I would call that. It's not open like a hand, but more like a claw would be. In and out. There we go. We have additional steps here. Go high or right down onto it. So I had to unwrap that. But so for comparison's sakes, let's get a Mark 6 here. This is the original, or no, this is the re-release plastic Mark 6, not the die-cast. So you can see he's much taller than this would be. And so this would have to be able to be, for him to walk through it in order for it to be true scale. So that's the disadvantage to the Mark 1/9 scale to the 1/6 scale. But you can see it's a lot better representation than the little bitty thing they provided us with the Mark 6 diecast, wherever I put it at here. Big difference. Big difference. And so this is a joke, or just if you don't have the room for it and you just want to do it as a representation of what it's supposed to be, you do. Or if you want to use it as a backdrop, as something in the distance to show that this is what he just came off of, it's good for that. But in regards to the practicalness of it, the full-on display, this, in my opinion, does a better job. And I don't have it totally unboxed, and I'm burning into an hour, and I don't want to keep you guys too long. But you get the idea of where you are and what you got going on. So I can display them on this, and it's a better representation, in my opinion, than not having or just having just this. So guys, thanks for sticking with me and watching me unbox some of these. And obviously you see I have a lot more of these, and I'm going to keep doing these every Saturday morning at o'clock California time, whatever there is in the rest of the world, for you guys. And I enjoy you guys being here. They're up to watch whenever you want, and hopefully the video is better this time. I've had some in the past. See if we can get a better picture of the top of him there, so you can see that where the difference lies, or how it doesn't fit totally. Let me show you that a little better. So I'm going to hand hold that for a second. But there you can see what the 1/9 scale of it looks like with a 1/6 scale figure on it. So it works, but not exactly. It helps tell the story a lot better than, in my opinion, this piece does. So I did see a company that made a 1/6 scale true scale to it. It wasn't Hot Toys, it wasn't King Arts, it wasn't one of the big ones. I didn't order it because I'd already bought this. And I think this is still available through Big Bad Toy Store. I think you can still pick one up. I recommend it if you want to display your figure like this, if you have the ability to. I think it's great. I think it, like I said, it tells the story, which is what you want, in my opinion. It's what I want. So there you go. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. It's like some difficulty here, so I keep covering up my screen, so I really can't see what's going on. I wish Hot Toys used that articulation in their gantry. India, wow. Yeah, that's why I get up so early to do this, because as I was thinking about the rest of the world, on East Coast time, it's like 10 a.m., 10 to 11 a.m. In Europe, it's like in the afternoon, 4 to 6 or something to that effect. And over where you are in India, obviously, 13 hours ahead of me. So it's nighttime. So I figured this was the best time to try to get a live audience if you guys were interested. But it's available to watch anytime. And I interact with you guys here, and I'm glad to have you. And I love every one of my subscribers. It's really nice to have people that are interested in the hobby as much as I am and want to watch my videos. And I'm open to suggestions. You guys just send me notes or comment here or live interaction on the live video, and I'll respond to you if I happen to see it. So, what time is it now? Yeah, I'm going to get off this. Been with you guys for an hour, tying up your day, and you guys want to get on with your Saturday and enjoy it. So, thanks for watching, everyone. If you're new to the channel, take this opportunity now to subscribe. Click the little bell icon so you can know when I upload a new video, and click the like button. That helps the YouTube algorithms in regards to when it decides it wants to promote me. Share this video with your friends. Maybe they don't know about where they can go to see these types of videos. One thing that I want to point out is I've noticed some fading on the pink panties. This is the re-release. This was what came out last year. This isn't the original Mark 6. This was a re-release. Some people call it the Hong Kong edition. That when Hong Kong, Shanghai opened up to Hot Toys, and people were able to buy them there, and they'd re-released the Mark 4, the Mark 6, and the Mark 42. And these panties are already starting to turn. And on my original Mark 6, they definitely turned. I have a fix that I'm going to do to this, and I'm going to make a video of it when I do it. There are, nay, I say, don't do that. They've painted it beautifully. What is happening, in my opinion, is the lacquer that they've used is getting cloudy. So there's a way of fixing this, and I'm going to try, and I'm going to give it a shot and show it to you. But I can already see this one here that's only a year old. It's only been displayed in this room, in this case, is already starting to fade. So on any of these, whether it's an original Mark IV, or whether it's one or Mark VI, or whether it's a re-release Mark IV or Mark VI, any of the plastic ones, they're going to fade. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that. And so stay tuned for that. And go see Venom. I really enjoyed the movie. It's a great movie. Don't believe the hype of the critics. They're complaining and they're whining, and it's a great movie. It really is. Is it perfect? No. Is it the best Marvel movie? No. It's a good movie. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Keep tuned, and I'm getting into the habit of getting back into this again to produce more videos. So I will get with the program and start doing real unboxings. Well, not unboxings, real reviews. So you'll actually see me doing detailed reviews in high quality 4K definition video. So thanks again for watching, everyone. See you in the next video. Happy collecting.